Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be, everybody. My name is Brian, and I'm here with Allison, and this is Maintaining Frame number 164. Women want princess treatment, women most affected. Where we will be reacting to a cavalcade of bullshit videos.
The Weird Sisters, and then a palate cleanser, Clownfish.
Okay, so we are going to do Clownfish TV as like a palate cleanser. Okay.
We'll see if they covered everything that was wrong with the Weird Sisters and their take.
Yeah. I mean, I like them. I've had them on the show. I did a fireside chat with Clownfish TV a while back.
Before they went really big, I'm guessing.
Yeah, before they blew up. Yeah.
Before they blew up. We are always taxing, but it seems like we pick the winners quite often. It's like we got the Midas touch. Except we can't touch ourselves and turn ourselves into gold for some reason. Wait, that sounds horrible. Never mind. Forget that. Forget I said that. We should probably announce the topic, right? Oh wait, we did. Princess treatment.
I did. Princess treatment. We're going to be talking about. So apparently the backstory seems to be that there was a woman who was on TikTok and she made a video about basically what she considers to be princess treatment, and feminists are not happy about it. So
when
basically the short version. Maybe when men are suffering, but even then I guess they're victims of that in some way. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, men suffer, women most affected. It's just it's astounding what feminists can make women victims of being women, of not being women, of being men, of not being men. Like it's infinite. The source of victimhood is infinite. It's astounding. Like I some of the things, actually, you know what? It's no longer astounding to me. It's just, yeah, okay. All right. You're gonna make yourself a victim of that, huh? That's great. And then you're going to complain that you're a victim of making yourself a victim of things, because that's what they do. They're like, we don't want to focus on what we can do, what we have effective control over. We want to reduce the entire world to things that act upon us. And then we want to get the recognition of being actors in the greater world. It's like, well, you got one or the other there. One or the other, friends. Okay, rant over.
All right.
Shall we just get into it? Wait, I should do the things. I should do the things.
Yeah, do the things.
Yeah. Okay. If you would like to send us a message at any point throughout the show. See, I had to access the part of my brain that has the things in them. That's why we had that little spinning ball moment for me.
Yeah.
Please go to feedthebadger.com/justthetip. And it's the very best way for you to send us a comment and help us out to make sure that we can continue to build this community that doesn't reject men for stupid reasons. I think that's what I'm going to focus on. We don't reject men for stupid reasons. And maybe we should all stop doing that, because I think that's going to have some pretty negative consequences to everything that we use men, to help us with. And even more, it's not fair. It's extremely unjust, and it's not kind. So anyway, if you like that message, please go to feedthebadger.com/justthetip. Or if you're chorizo and you don't like that message, you can also go to feedthebadger.com/justthetip, because we have in the past got quite a few super chats and super chows from people who don't like us. Go figure. Feedthebadger.com/justthetip for your comments.
They do like us, but they like when they get our attention by trolling us in the chat.
Yeah. So they're little. Let me see if I can pronounce that word. Sundari towards us.
Sundere.
Sundere towards us.
Yeah.
So whether or not you love our message or don't, feedthebadger.com/justthetip has you covered. And if you want to support the show, either because you want to promote this message or because you want to hate support us, feedthebadger.com/support. So those are the things. Also, we're doing a meetup in September 13th. If you want more information, that's at feedthebadger.com/events. That's where everything is going to go. So just bookmark that and pay attention to it. Once again, that's feedthebadger.com/events. You can also keep track of us on our Discord, our community, which is where everything happens. BadgerNation.online. All of these things should be in the low bar now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. They're all in the low bar, so pick your poison and go and enjoy being poisoned. Again, I think that's let's move on. Let's get into this.
Okay, so we have 4 videos, 3 feminists that have been repeat guests on this channel. Manifestelle, who is here now, Drama Queen, and Queer Kiwi. So I don't know, like Allison asked me before the show, let's start with the worst one, or she asked me which one was worst. And the truth is they're all basically the same, you know. I don't know whether it's all like scat as far as I'm concerned. So
okay, well let me refine it. Let me refine it. Okay, let me try to find another metric that we can choose between the weird sisters. Although I mean, I guess do we have Byrony this time?
No Bryony Claire this time.
Bryony. So wait, there's actually 4
you didn't
of
send
them.
me a Bryony. There,
no Bryony,
usually it's Bryony, Queer Kiwi, and Drama Queen. But Manifestelle is like a outside of that, but she's totally in here.
I think Manifestelle would probably be just happy to be carted around by an extremely rich man. Like, have you ever heard what was it, Boxing Helena? I think it's about a story about a man who becomes obsessed with cutting off the arms and legs of a woman. I think Manifestelle would actually be her ideal fantasy, but a really rich man who can then replace her arms and legs with servants and her alimentary canal with some kind of intravenous tube directly into her stomach, so she can do the least amount possible, just be completely dependent on men. So she does not have to do anything. But at the same time, one of her big problems is that she can't trust men with the level of dependence on men that she feels like she deserves. It's really, if you think about it, quite the existential crisis to be Manifestelle, to believe that if she does anything, if she's forced to do anything for herself, that is an imposition on her by her male partner. But at the same time, being unable to trust a man to take over all of the processes that she believes oppresses her if she's forced to do them for herself. I'll let you guys think about that. I don't know if I've conveyed information or a stream of noise. So, all right, that's my great fear always, is that all I'm doing is just making noise. But anyway, let's speaking of making noise.
Should we start with Manifestelle then?
Sure. Let's start with Manifestelle.
Okay, let's just start with that. Yeah, okay. So, all right. So what I was saying is that essentially there was a TikTok video of a woman talking about princess treatment, and that's how we got these videos, because they all...
We have that TikTok?
Well, they watch it on the... No, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know where it is.
But we can watch it with them.
Yeah, they're gonna watch it. So okay, let me just... Okay, here we go.
Talk about princess treatment without giving it a definition. Basically, princess treatment, according to the powerhouse of the cell, is when you are treated well according to your needs, according to your wants. And at the very root of receiving princess treatment is not at all being performative, as we're seeing here. It's not at all that. It's making others feel royal. Receiving princess treatment is all about making others feel royal. Because
I don't think actually Manifestelle does not watch the video. I don't think, which is weird because she usually does. So maybe we could look. She reads a transcript of the conversation, I think.
Let's go to one that does watch the video then.
Okay, all right. We'll go to all right, let's go to Drama Queen instead and start with that, okay? So she likes to do... These are theater kids, guys. Theater kids.
I do not speak unless my husband says so. Can he hear me talking? Whenever my husband takes me out to a restaurant.
Oh, god damn.
what I eat and what I put in my body.
Can this be considered shaming BDSM yet?
Is that well, I don't know. I mean, it's women
Kink shaming?
stepping out of line. Is it a kink though? Because that's
Well,
like,
I mean,
Manifestelle is trying to claim that this woman's princess treatment thing is a kink, and using that as a means to essentially like dismiss it or even call it paint it as negative for the woman who made that video.
okay,
And I think
wait.
ultimately that comes down to women trying to control other women's
Of course,
preferences and
as
behavior.
usual.
So
Okay.
I think that calling it kink shaming is just kind of like
Buying into it.
buying into it. Yeah. And I don't know if that's true. Like, I don't know if that woman, if that is a kink for her or if that's just what she expects. I don't know. So I wouldn't want to like be uncharitable.
Uncharitable, yeah. Just a point of order. Is it Manifestelle who's arguing it's a kink or Queer Kiwi?
Well, I don't know. Manifestelle's video is called, is it princess treatment or submission kink?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see.
So that's the title of her video. So I think she's proposing that it is. But Drama Queen is proposing that it's actually toxic femininity. And so this is a different, and essentially she's playing this Stepford Wives character in the video. That's what she thinks this is, right? So it's not Manifestelle wants to be treated like a princess. She wants that. Drama Queen, I don't think she likes men. So I think that it's a different thing altogether, you know? She's more...
Well, I think... Yeah, no, I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I get what you're laying down. This is terrible acting. It's really cringe inducing. Does she actually play what the woman says at some point? Do you know?
Yeah, she watches the video. So yeah,
I see. So it's fairly quick. Yeah. All right, let's continue.
I want you to see this because it sets the tone that she said.
I don't speak or make eye contact with white stuff because that goes against what husband says. I need my husband to think for me, to speak for me, because I'm so feminine and soft and quiet.
Excuse me, how is this different than feminist? Okay.
What?
How is this different from feminism saying that patriarchy thinks for women? Like basically patriarchy chooses women's thoughts, except in this case, this woman says, I'm going to choose a benevolent patriarch to think my thoughts for me. As opposed to feminism's, we're all being puppeted by a malevolent patriarchy. All women, especially women like me. And also women like Queer Kiwi, because I'm sure there's another woman who could come around and look at Queer Kiwi's stuff and say, this is also the manifestation of patriarchy.
Yeah.
Ugh. I mean, it's never ending, guys, because it's in the interpretation itself, not the objective facts. All right.
Okay. So, yeah. So I think the princess treatment thing in from Drama Queen's perspective is kind of like a pick-me thing, but I think that's what I'm getting from it. But let's listen to more.
Yeah.
Princess treatment is just another way to keep women down by placing us inside of the same box society once created in times where women weren't allowed to speak, vote, make decisions for our own
And yet
bodies,
that's exactly what they're doing here.
What?
Well, that's exactly what they're doing here. She says when women weren't allowed to speak, vote, and she does images of women doing all of that.
Yeah.
Maybe not voting, but again, the vote wasn't a fight of woman against man. If you look in the history, it was most women were against it. Most men were for it. And then there was a really loud minority of women who engaged in terrorism that soured everyone on the issue. And then eventually men in government and the male voters who had won their vote by going to war and serving their country decided to give women the vote. Even though a small group of terrorist agitators had nearly poisoned the well when it came to women's votes. That's closer to the real history of that. And I think it's because men have always wanted an equal. It's probably why Cato made that statement that you cannot give women equality because they will immediately seek superiority. Probably because he was counseling other Romans not to do it. It's like, yeah, don't do it, because they were doing it or trying to do it, right? So and even in Rome, women could march and get laws changed if they wanted. It's just they didn't seem to want to for whatever reason. Women have always had influence in the political sphere. Hell, the entire foundation of politics and what is possible in a society is laid down by women as mothers when they establish the emotional habits of their children. So this is just like, she's basically saying, oh my God, this woman is so submissive to men. By the way, did you know that every one of women's actions and choices is selected by men for them? Like, what's the problem? Is it because this woman is saying, I choose to be submissive, and Queer Kiwi says that women's submission is completely outside of their control? Like, what, is there a big difference there? One is a choice, and Kiwi's like, no, women can't choose to be submissive because they just are.
Mm-hmm.
It's just inherent to the beast, always and forever.
I think this mythology around the vote has to die. Like,
It does.
I think it really has to die, because it's the first thing these people lean on every time they do. And I think one of the ways you kill it is not just that history lesson, but also they have to stop thinking it's a right, because it isn't. We have to stop just periods thinking of it as a right, either for men or women. It is not a right. It is a responsibility, a privilege that comes with responsibility. And the framing around the vote as just a right is what is destroying us, because like people are just, the vote is violence at the end of the day, right? And women are exercising that to use violence, because that's how they get, their programs paid for, their babies killed, whatever. And I think that we just have to kill the myth around the vote. It is not a right.
Yep.
It is not a right.
Well, yeah, it's not a right.
It is a privilege and a responsibility. There is a duty tied into it. Okay. So, but anyway, let's,
we should never
because feminists like this would just keep bringing up women's rights and vote until like that dies. Because right now you can get into an argument with a feminist online and you basically ask them the really basic question: what rights do men have that women don't? And they don't have an answer, but they will say, well, historically they didn't have the vote, but the vote's not a right. So that's not something they lost, because they never had it, because that's not what it is. So we have to change the language around that. Men didn't have the right to vote either. No, most men didn't have the right to vote either. Exactly. So that the myth around that has to die. So anyway,
yeah, it does.
Let's keep going.
Paid the same as a man doing the exact same job, and sometimes
another
labeling femininity as something where you give up your own autonomy is something that this TikToker here did, boasting.
Hilarious. What? This is hilarious, from the camp that reduces women down to victims, like external factors in every conceivable circumstance. Every time you look at a woman, you see a victim. In every conceivable circumstance, you can reduce women down to victims. And you have the audacity to complain about someone else talking about submission. Your entire brain is submission.
They're a victim until they start thinking for themselves. And they say, I want this thing that feminists don't approve of. Then they become a target.
Yeah. Well, then they become a real victim of the sisterhood, of any deviation, any self-thought. If a woman thinks for herself, I don't even talk about female submission. I just talk about recognizing men's issues, and the things that men are vulnerable to, and maybe caring about men, and I am also a target. I don't even need to talk about female submission. Just anything that feminism doesn't want women to do, which ironically is apparently okay. Queer Kiwi, you need to make the inner tips of your eyeshadow. Drama queen. Oh God, it's another one.
You're getting your harpies mixed up.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. You need to make the tips, the inner tips of your eyeshadow, on the same plane. Because this is giving me the tisms looking at her eyes at the moment. Because it looks like one is higher than the other. I'm not sure if that actually is true or it's just an effect of her sloppy makeup.
I don't know. All right. Let me see. I'll play a little bit more, but she's gonna play the TikTok video so we have the context.
Princess treatment to be a thing where you don't think for yourself. Your male counterpart does. In this instance, her husband. And to me, it sort of presents itself on the outside as a kink. If you are asked what you want to order from a restaurant and you look to your husband, just eagerly awaiting for him to answer, that is not princess treatment. That is a form of oppression. This TikToker in today's video.
Wait. Okay, are you allowed to kink shame now? Because if it was a kink, you're allowed to kink shame. Okay. All right. Does she actually play the TikTok?
Yeah, she's gonna play the TikTok right here. Do you want me to jump ahead to this? It's like
right
here.
I feel like we're gonna hear the.
Okay, let's go.
Control you.
Let's talk about princess treatment if you're at a restaurant and how you interact with the waitstaff and the hostess. If I am at a restaurant with my husband, I do not talk to the hostess, I do not open any doors, and I do not order my own food. So someone had sent me a message a couple weeks ago asking about, like, let's say your husband drops you off and he goes to park the car, what do you do? Or if it's raining or something like that and he wants you to put your name down. And I had a very similar situation happen to me with my husband a couple weeks ago. I'll put her question on the screen so you can see exactly what she's saying. But me and my husband pulled up to a restaurant and
it's so bad, isn't it? Look at her. She's like, oh my God, I am weeping.
She's on the
this
verge
is such
of
grief.
tears.
She's on the verge of tears. Wow. This is an incredible imposition on your both husband.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, like, the woman that they're shaming is like, here's the thing. What we're looking at is a woman who, if her and her husband agreed to this and,
it's fine.
she's good to him, whatever, I don't care. But I don't think my wife would expect this shit. She's just not like that, But so I don't like this arrangement that this woman has. But if her and her husband are okay with it, then it's none of my business. In fact, if it weren't for these videos reacting to it, I wouldn't even know about this because it would have been like completely out of my radar. I just wouldn't give a shit.
And
but she's not. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Let me let you finish. I apologize.
No, it's okay. I'm just saying these women are angry because I think what the problem is that they're afraid that this princess treatment thing might be normalized or might be seen as appealing to some women. And even Manifestelle, who would argue that she wants this, she thinks there's something like that it should be elevated in some way. So she has like a slightly different kind of cancer than the other two. So
okay. So
yes,
hers
this
is
is live.
A slightly different flavor of cancer. All right. Yeah. So what I was gonna say is she talks about how the patriarchy controls women. And it's almost like she's preloading this narrative so that she can hide the fact that she is shaming a woman and how a woman chooses to conduct her life. Do you think if this woman said, hey, I don't want this, the husband would be like, no, you must do this? No, I'm pretty sure she's the one leading this.
I think she's going to use the fact that... Let me ask you something. Yeah.
We are part of the manosphere, or we are manosphere adjacent or whatever. You because you're a man, me because I'm a pick-me. Have you ever heard of men talk about the princess treatment?
Not in the manosphere, no. No.
So
I think
this is driven.
I mean, it doesn't mean those guys don't have their own kind of like gynocentric views, but they don't go that far. Even then, they don't go that far. Yeah.
So this is a phenomenon that's entirely driven by what women want, women want from men. If they didn't want it, I don't think her husband would be forcing it on her. Okay. So she is constructing this reality in which she's being treated like European royalty, right? And she wants this from her husband. It's ridiculous on its face because she looks like I don't want to bring it down to looks, but let's just say she looks like she would be either a boarding house mistress or a seamstress in medieval Europe, not an aristocratic woman. But then again, maybe she would, because a lot of them, they had a particular look. But regardless, the odds are, let's not base this on looks. The odds are she is not European royalty. And yet she is demanding this treatment from her husband. Maybe not demanding, requesting. Expecting. I don't think this is driven by him. And nobody's addressing that. Is there any indication that this is driven by him? None. And
no, but she's calling it oppression, which means that implies
that's
that
the thing.
Is responsible.
She reduces.
Right?
She could sit there like queer drama queen could say to herself, where is women's agency in this phenomenon? Where are women making the choice here? Is there any indication that this woman's choices are being driven by her husband? I just applied a little bit of logic, and the answer is no. There is no indication that this woman's choices are being driven by her husband. No indication that if tomorrow she said, honey, I'm done with the princess treatment. I want other kind of treatment, that he would be like, yes, dear. Okay. There's no indication of that. And yet drama queen looks at this and immediately sees women's victimhood, right? That is a mindset, a limiting mindset. She's basically seeing this. And part of it is because she wants to shame this woman for her choices, which aren't the same choices as her, which is like, this is something that I brought up. Every time I hear the word patriarchy stated, well, not every time, but a majority of the times, it's usually one group of women trying to cannibalize the autonomy of another group of women and make their choices illegitimate because they're not the choices that they would make. This is a real shitty thing that women do to each other. Now, do I care as much if this woman wants to arrange her relationship in this way? No. If your husband is fine with it, I mean, at least she can be satisfied. At least she's saying, I want X, Y, B, Z, and then he's doing it, right? So as long as she doesn't boomerang on him and then suddenly say, I really hated that thing you ordered for me. I can't believe you don't love me, or some shit like that. That's if she's genuinely accepting whatever he chooses for her, and he's fine with whatever A, B, C, D steps that she's laid out for him to hoops to jump through, and he's fine, have at. Okay, have at. That's fine. My concern would be, is she satisfied? What if she makes the wrong choice? What happens then? Right? But that's fine. This topping from the bottom is fine. If the man wants to sign off on it, who cares? It's their life, right? But she can't handle that because everything has to go, like all other women have to make the same choices as drama queen. Otherwise, they are patriarchal puppets. So these women use the threat of patriarchy to coerce other women, to shame other women into doing what they think they should do. And this is what I'm saying. The majority of the time I hear these women bandy about patriarchy, it is to insult and remove the voice and to crush the perception of other women's agency, to consume their agency and say, get back on the plantation. It's actually really gross.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me play more.
Reservation he wanted to run in. Well, we didn't have a reservation, so we wanted to go up and see if it was possible for us to get in. He pulled the car up at the valet station. I stayed in the car.
Right off the bat here, this woman cannot seem to produce too many coherent sentences. And
don't judge her based on that.
Due to the fact that she has to get permission from her husband before
she can
speak to anybody, including.
Look at queer Kiwi consuming another woman's agency. Isn't she satisfied? Drama queen.
Yeah. So a man does all kinds of, I guess you could say, chivalrous things, because the scenario, if you guys missed it, was what if we go to a restaurant and it's raining and what is he supposed to do? Like, and she was like, well, here's what he did. He drove there. He drove me to the front door. He let me out to go inside. I don't think that she got to this point yet, but she doesn't even talk to the hostess. She doesn't like say we're on the list. She just waits for him to go park the car and come back, or talk to the valet, give him the keys, and then go in, and he basically does everything. And she calls this her being in service to him. He's the one in the rain. He's the one paying for shit. He's the one making reservations. He's the one dropping her off. He's the one opening the door for her. He's the one ordering the food. He's the one doing everything. And that is oppression. Just saying, just putting it out. This is what she is claiming about this other woman. So,
and the funny thing is that what he orders is probably a test on how much he loves her.
Yeah, it is, right? Like, are you going to order what I want, right? Now, I know there are women who sometimes they don't know what they want. It's like an old meme, like a woman on death row. What do you want for your last meal? I don't know. What do you want? That's what she says. So, like, I get that. But nonetheless, it is a test, because it's like, how well do you know me? How do you know what I want, what I feel like, what I like, right?
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of a scene from American Psycho.
Yeah.
Where Patrick Bateman takes a woman who's drugged up out of her mind to dinner, and he orders for her. He says, you're going to have this, this, this. And then she just goes along with it because she's too high to like make a decision. So, yeah, maybe people are into that, whatever, but it's not oppression.
No, it's not oppression. I mean, if the role that you're playing can be replaced, if European royalty can walk into the role you're playing, and the servants of European royalty can walk into the role your husband's playing, you are not oppressed.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no indication that there's not judgment there anywhere in this process by her. He orders her food. Okay. Again, if he orders something that she knows, I don't know, that she is allergic to, that she doesn't want, that she doesn't like, you really think she's not going to judge? Yeah, well, we can't know for sure. Maybe she won't.
Yeah. No, I think I don't think that. I think she's trying to make a claim about their relationship that you can't prove. So,
yeah, and I'm just saying that when I point that out, okay, I'm not saying that she isn't going to be completely satisfied with what he orders for her, right? And that they're happy with this arrangement. I'm saying you can't look at this arrangement on its face based on how she describes her arrangement and conclude that she is not in the driver's seat. Right? But this is what Drama Queen has done, because she is allergic to recognizing the accountability and the agency of women. And she's allergic to it because she wants to use that recognition to manipulate other women into doing what she wants. It's actually really, like, I've had women do this to me, and in the past, it had a much worse effect on me than it does now. But they would say that you aren't making your own choices. Patriarchy is making them for you. And you would be compelled to argue, because it is like cutting your throat. It's like choking you. It is like taking your voice away. It's like removing a part of your humanity when women say this to another woman. You know, it's stripping them of their sense of self. And initially I'd be like, I would argue the point. And then I realized, no, this is just a weapon. It's a weapon women use to remove the agency of other women, that they don't like the actions that they're taking. And that's what Drama Queen is doing. And if you think that this behavior is going to end up in having some kind of utopia if you get rid of men, no, it won't. Now, here's a frightening statistic of how it won't. Women want to control other women's agency. This is like their prize. it's like the ultimate win condition, and they'll manipulate men in order to do it. In societies that practice honor killings, usually the honor killing is initiated by a woman and carried out by a man. But when they look at honor killings that are initiated by women and carried out by a woman, they find that the violence is unspeakably brutal. So a man will do an honor killing, kill quickly, right? A woman, take her time with it. She'll savor it. She'll do a bit of torture first, maybe a bit of raping, and then she'll just kill her in a way that she dies slowly. This is what they found. They're horrific. When the honor killings are perpetuated by women, they are horrific. So in an all-woman society, not only will women be attempting to constantly consume each other's agency and control each other's actions, am I still good? Because Void Cat just went across. Speaking of females controlling other females' actions, not only will they do that, when they punish women for failing to abide by whatever drama queen thinks a woman should do, the violence without men will be unspeakably brutal. Okay, let's keep going with that thought.
Let's keep going.
Wait stuff where it's like you either look rude or like you're being trafficked. I mean, isn't it odd for an adult woman to be boasting the fact that she isn't going to speak to wait staff, but she'll get on?
Yes, traffickers often bring their victims to restaurants.
But, oh my God, silly me. Her husband probably gave her permission to do that.
Or told the valet, I'm just going to run in and ask a question. I'm going to leave my car here. I sat in the car while he ran in and asked them. They said, yeah, we have space for you. And my husband said, okay, I'm going to go get my wife and then I'm going to park the car. So he comes back out, opens my car door, walks me into the restaurant, opens the door, and I stand and wait. I did not make eye contact with the hostess. I did not talk to her. I waited until my husband came back. He comes back, does the exchange with her, and then we went and sat down.
So you were rude to the wait staff because you and your husband are participating in a kink, which, by the way, all of these people in public around you did not consent to. They didn't agree to. She seems to live in this.
What do you mean consent to the kink? What?
I'm gonna give her this one.
Wait, but
the reason.
Okay, so then do we? Okay, so then can we make the argument that you can't have pride parades because we don't have consent?
Yes.
Okay. All right. As long as we're consistent.
Yeah.
As long as we're consistent. Okay.
But this might be a little, well, depending on the pride parade, this might be a little bit more intrusive. If you're an adult going into an establishment, there is an expectation that you should be able to interact with the wait staff and not just stand there like a.
Well, if the wait staff are. I mean, like she said, she didn't give eye contact to anybody, but that doesn't mean that people approached her and she ignored them. They probably didn't talk to her because they were busy running the restaurant.
Yeah, but the thing is that it is like if you're going to go into a restaurant and then just stand in the corner and not interact with the wait staff and they end up like calling security and getting rid of you, I wouldn't cry tears for you because if, like I said, if you're an adult and you go into an establishment where you're being expected to serve and people will expect to be able to go up to you and inquire as to why you are there as a function of the activity and you don't respond, that, I mean, I won't give it to her for any of this patriarchal bullshit, but that's just, it is rude because these people are trying to do their job.
Yeah.
And if you impede them doing their job, and I don't know, like maybe they just ignored her. Fair enough. But if they impede them doing their job, I don't know. I think it is rude. All right. So I'll give that one to her, but nothing else.
Okay.
Fantasy that her husband is such a masculine man, all because he speaks for you. Didn't know it was
so what?
Masculine and gritty and tough for him to swoop through the Applebee's and ask for a table for two. Girl, you got such a big, strong guy on your hands.
Really? So you're shaming Isn't this interesting? She's shaming this as not masculine enough. So what's masculine enough for drama queen? Slaughtering a phalanx on the way to the Applebee's? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
To make
You okay,
the
Brian? You
assumption
seem really
that
out of it.
somehow feminine and
Yeah, I'm okay. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm okay.
princess like to be so soft and quiet is embarrassing at your big ass age. Like, whenever I come across these kinds of videos over on TikTok, it is very clear what is happening to me. This is
really?
a person who is participating in a kink, okay? They want to be treated as a
I
child.
feel like she's
It's
repeating
really
herself now.
What?
I think she's
She's
repeating
repeating
herself.
herself? Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Yeah, so okay, let's jump ahead.
let's do, or we, if she doesn't repeat herself, we can jump ahead, but
No, I think that this is like her thing, is that she tends to beat points into the
to
ground,
death.
and
Like me.
assumes that she has to say it like multiple times, otherwise people won't understand her. And then she just yells more. So yeah, let's play from here.
Being a princess, it's not because you're being hoity-toity. You're just letting your husband lead and letting him take care of it. So if I don't even know another situation where you would need to be dropped off. Usually there's a valet, so you can both get out together. But again, like, you don't need to feel awkward about it.
Is anyone else hearing the sirens in the background? Like, they can hear what you're saying, girl. They are coming for your husband.
Another huge part of the princess treatment is,
Why?
I don't know if we specifically talked about this, but
Well, because she thinks that she's claiming that her husband is the reason why she's a slave. Because I mean, like, that's what she's implying. Or a child who is under the thrall of her husband and doesn't realize that she's a prisoner. So this is like the whole, ultimately the thesis of
But
this.
ultimately, okay, but
Yeah.
but at the same time, she's saying that this isn't masculine enough.
No.
Like, she just shamed this entire framework that they've probably agreed upon is not an indication that the husband is masculine enough. You know, and maybe that's fine. Like, maybe she sees that as masculinity. At least it's constrained to something pro-social, right? I mean, it might be a little rude to the wait staff. Maybe she waits outside. Who knows? But ultimately, it's not like her husband is doing anything evil. And if that's how she feels led, and that's how she feels like he's protecting her, what's wrong with that? And drama queen is basically shaming it as not masculine enough. He has to do more. He has to invade Byzantium or something. Like, he's got to be the head of the Mongol hordes. Are you sure if she's taking a sense of femininity from this interaction, which is well within social norms, and is a man who is taking care of her and demonstrating that he has an understanding of her needs because of what he's going to order, is that not better than requiring masculinity that's extremely violent to feel like you're protected and provided for? Because this is what I'm getting. This is what I'm getting from drama queen's arrangement. She's mocking this woman for finding the man who does all of these things well within the auspice of a civil, polite society, and she's finding that masculine. So obviously the problem here for drama queen is that he isn't sufficiently doing something aggressive or risk-taking or not beating down the restaurant doors with his horde, or doing a shootout with the chef or the bartender in order to acquire the goods. Like, what if this is how they're framing it? Isn't the gentle, facilitating, caretaking masculinity of this exchange, is that not fine? Like, why are you saying no, it needs to be more? Like,
I don't know. I think she's just trying to like this
Just
is
be an
like
asshole?
this is Well, yeah, but I think this is like a I don't want to call it a gender norm because I don't think the princess treatment thing is like a historical norm for
No.
normal people. I think that it's like a hyper version of the romantic model that we only adopted in the last, like, 70 years or maybe 100 years or so. But I think that women like this, I think they really miss being like feeling like women, or there's something that they're trying to grasp at that they don't quite
Mhm.
understand because of modernity, and they are overdoing it. And the men too, right? A lot of men want to feel like they are needed, they want to feel like,
Mhm.
masculine, and this is how they do that. And the problem is, regardless of how well executed it is or how well they're doing, because I think they're just struggling to figure it out, maybe feminists can't stand that people are even trying to be
That they
like,
want it.
in their masculine or in their feminine. So they're just trying to discredit it by any means necessary. She doesn't I don't know that drama queen wants the man to be more masculine or whatever. I think she's trying, first of all, I think she's trying to define what masculinity is, which feminists do all the time, right? They tell
Mhm.
you what a real man is, and it's this moving target, obviously. But what it is not is anything that actually remotely appears to be positive and masculine. So I think that she just doesn't like that these people are even, like, I don't know, aiming for something that looks like traditional gender roles. That's what I think it comes down to, in my opinion. And again, I'm not saying this woman that's putting the princess treatment stuff out there is a good example of that. I don't think she is. I think it's a fantasy that she's like living out, but I think there's a purpose behind it.
Yeah, but
So
it's if you think about it, and I actually suspect that a lot of feminists, they actually do want the really aggressive kind of man, like the kind of man that they say that they don't want. Um, and so maybe some of the offense here really is that they have discovered a very pro-social, caretaking way for her to feel feminine and submissive and him to feel useful and masculine. That's something that fits perfectly well into civilized culture, as
yeah,
opposed to I don't know, what's his name? Wade Wilson, slaughterer of two women, beloved by womankind, you know, that
yeah,
kind of thing. So when she says this ain't masculine enough for me, baby, I think I take her at face value. She probably just being a dick, but also I think that insofar, I'm sure she considers herself queer. Might also just be an expression of really wanting to be put right by a man, because that's what I like when I've interacted with feminists in my personal life, outside of all of this shenanigans. They have expressed desire for men who they aren't supposed to like, right? The masculine men who tell them what to do and are aggressive and all that kind of shiz. And it's like, yeah, that happens over and over again, right? Just like feminist men. Well, I mean, it's a toss up whether or not feminist men get charged with sexual aggression because they are amongst women who do things like that, or if they are actually more inclined to. So
hmm yeah,
feminism is a lie, and it's a lie not just for the people who feminism inflicts itself on, but also the feminists themselves. So yeah, it could very well be a very honest, genuine contempt for the fact that these two people have found a way for this man to express his masculinity within the confines of something civilized and reasonable, as opposed to something aggressive, cruel. I mean, there has to be a reason why feminists constantly frame frame men in terms of the most criminal motives possible. Right? Is it because, I mean, one, they can manipulate men by framing them in such a way, because men will say, well, I don't do that. Let me give you feminist money and my time and submit myself to you, because that'll prove that I don't do this thing that you accuse me of. But then that might also be a bit of that's what they want secretly. All right, let's
All right. Let's keep going. I want to hear the rest of this princess
Sure.
treatment video.
let me move on to the next
Talk
one.
and fill space. Like, you don't need to talk unless you are spoken to, and then if you are spoken to and they ask, you could just say, oh, I'm just waiting for my husband, and then he'll be able to give the reservation.
Hey, so your strange idea
Okay, so
that you
yeah,
share
that's not that
with your
rude.
husband is not the wait staff's problem.
Well, at that point, drama queen, I'm going to have to go down on her side. She's just politely saying, I'm waiting for my husband to come and he will deal with it. Now they know why she's there and they can wait. That's fine.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
Yeah, you're right.
But of
Brian.
course, see, this is the thing. Drama Queen doesn't like it because it is reinforcing gender roles in her mind. And, very much like in line with what feminists think of as the bad kind of gender roles, which is
well, not their kind of bad gender roles.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. The bad kind, what they perceive as the bad kind, because they do believe in gender roles, but like not the ones that are considered the norm, so, or whatever. And even then, I don't think that this princess treatment thing is the norm, but she is seeing it that way because she hates it because it's too whatever. I don't know. So, okay.
Not paid enough to deal with a woman who thinks that she is participating in princess treatment. They need you to go and sit the down as soon as possible so that they can fill that table within the next hour. Extremely selfish to push.
She has a reservation.
Everybody.
Yeah, they have
She has a
reservations.
reservation. This is an issue. Okay, this is a non-issue. You're stealing a problem from the wait staff that doesn't exist. Can we? I highly doubt she does anything but repeat herself, and we've spent an hour on her. Shall we?
All right, let's move to the
her?
next
Yeah.
one. I mean, basically, the thesis is for her video is the princess treatment equates femininity with childlike submission, reinforcing oppressive gender norms and imposing an unethical public kink to non-consenting parties, which is neither empowering nor elegant, according to her. All right.
Okay. All right. And here is my answer to that. Feminists enforce their own gender role. They essentially divide women and define women by how they're acted upon, right? And even when women do something good, it's because patriarchy has refrained to acting upon them, because patriarchy is responsible for all the things that feminism doesn't want women to do. Right. So women are merely objects in the feminist framework, which is really ironic because they blame that on men. And men are merely subjects acting upon those objects. So feminist gender roles, rather than just being a set of social activities that men and women engage in, like this woman demonstrates, are actually two existential categories. As if we're not even two different species. We're two different categories of being entirely. In other words, men are creatures with intent and agency. Women are substrates that exist for men to write their actions upon. That is the feminist gender roles. Right? That's what they reduce the whole shebang down to. And then they have the audacity to beak off about other people having gender roles that are, they might be a bit contrived. They might be a bit chosen. They might maybe emphasize women's decisions a bit too much, but they actually present men and women as existing in the same category of being,
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to Manifestelle now.
Yes.
So Manifestelle, kind of like lines up with not queer Kiwi, with drama queen as well. But let's see. We were looking at this. Okay.
Royal, because I actually have a very optimistic view of other people. People are a mirror. They bounce back to you however you make them feel. And we have a favorite saying around here, everything is projection. And the same thing with princess treatment. When you make others feel royal, you make them feel special. They want to return the favor and also make you feel royal.
So she's saying that this woman in the TikTok video is not using princess treatment in the right way. So her idea of princess treatment is wrong. Princess treatment is when you make other people feel royal, other women. Not so basically, Manifestelle is like, why aren't you making me feel like a princess? Because that's what princess treatment actually is. It's like gaslighting people.
Yeah, have you asked?
Have you made me feel like royalty lately? You haven't? Well, you're not doing princess treatment then.
Well, exactly. You can't be a princess unless you have ladies in waiting and female retainers and servants. But I just find this hilarious because that meme of I consent, but have you asked Jesus? That meme, and the
oh yeah,
has Jesus consented? This is like, this woman consents, her husband consents, but have you asked Manifestelle if she consents? If she consents to this woman being treated in the way that she wants, but she hasn't thought about Manifestelle's needs and wants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
She's probably just jealous.
Let's keep going.
Via princess treatment. So whenever we talk about princess treatment this, princess treatment that, it's not at all performative. It's all about making others feel royal, make others feel warm and welcomed and at ease, which is also the core of elegance. Do you see how all the things are connecting? Like the connections are connectioning. If you want a crash course on elegance, watch me talk about it in a hoodie, my Pop Flex hoodie. And I got a lot of comments.
Is this woman not doing elegance? Is she not doing?
No, she's saying that she's doing it wrong, that it's not elegant, that it's performative, it's fake. So essentially, her approach, Drama Queen's approach, is to say, actually, you're a slave to your husband, and it's childlike and it's embarrassing, and you're basically like setting women back 100 years, and you're a bad person for that. And of course, your husband's worse because he's doing this to you, even though you're being treated really nicely. Manifestelle's approach is, oh, I see. But actually, do you realize that you're doing it completely wrong? Because what you should be doing is making me feel good and at ease and comfortable. And you're not doing that. So anyway, I got to jump ahead a little. She talks a little bit about her clothes, and I don't really care about that. So.
Because the core idea of elegance, like literally pick up any etiquette book. Like I dare you, pick up an etiquette book and read the introduction. Okay? The introduction of most, if not all, etiquette books, they always have a caveat about how these are the things you do to not break etiquette, but etiquette changes across groups of people, across time, across space, across geography. So do what other people are doing to make them feel warm, welcomed, and at ease. So literally pick up an etiquette book and read the introduction, and that's literally at the introduction of every single etiquette book. So
all right, well, I'm sorry. So
what?
So read an etiquette book, which is basically her saying you're not doing this right. Okay, so let me jump ahead to the next one here. She does not. It's like 17 minutes, 16 minutes.
Does she make a damn point?
She's saying that princess treatment is not. Yeah, her thesis is that the TikTokers' princess treatment is performative, potentially insidious submission kink that misrepresents true princess treatment, which should involve making others feel royal through kindness and engagement, not isolating oneself or acting submissive in public. So she's got the same issue that Drama Queen has, but she's taking it a different tactic. Tactic is to say, oh, you're trying to do this thing. Well, actually, you're doing it wrong. And this is how you should do it. And what you're doing is fake. And it's insidious and bad. So that's her point.
So are you supposed to do this to your partner? I'm guessing not.
To do what to your partner? Oh, make them
Be
feel
elegant,
warm and shit?
kind, and warm?
She does. I don't know if she goes into that. But let's see.
you don't Need to overspeak, overexert yourself. You can be feminine and soft and quiet. The most elegant, lovely women are often soft-spoken and don't overspeak. They're not loud. You're not going to be laughing loudly, speaking loudly, demanding the attention of the room. When you're at a restaurant, you're with your husband, your boyfriend, whoever's fiance who's speaking to him. Make eye contact with him. The attention is kind of on him. You're not laughing so loudly that everyone in the room is looking at you. It actually makes sense, but in the context that it's being put in, that's what's turning me off. It's like, it's all for a man.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you
Oh,
said,
good Lord. It's
It-
all for a man.
yeah. So the princess treatment about making other people feel good and center and all that should not apply to men. So she's gonna get to that, but that's like, well, again, it's the crucial point here. So, but let's hear her go on to that.
I agree that you shouldn't be too loud at a restaurant, and not just you as a woman. It's not a feminine thing, it's a common decency thing. Both men, women, everyone should be mindful of the volume that they're speaking in when in a public space or a private.
Oh, I think that she's pretty much elucidated her point here.
Usually.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we need to do anymore. Basically, her problem with this is right encapsulated in that. What's giving her a problem is that this is for a man. That a man could get any positive thing out of it. And this is the great irony. Manifestelle wants a man to do everything for her, including retain her autonomy somehow. So she wants to be completely dependent, but she also wants the man to make sure that she remains autonomous. And she wants him to do all of that without ever feeling he's getting anything from it. That's her problem with this. The man could be getting something from it. And of course, it's very elegant for a woman to be this grasping about the possibility that her warmth might end up radiating into a man and a man enjoying it. Like she wants women to be elegant, to radiate warmth and kindness and be charming, but she doesn't want any of these fruits, these riches, to fall upon a man ever.
Yeah.
Guys are this is a rogues gallery of absolute female dysfunction.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one.
So now let's go to Queer Kiwi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it was Queer Kiwi. Oh, okay.
Queer Kiwi. This is Queer Kiwi. Yes.
Okay.
So let me see if I can find. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. So let's go into the first. She's got a little intro. Yeah, we're not gonna watch all that. I got 3 time codes. So.
Greetings, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video.
But what if they're not your pal?
Huh?
What if the non-binary aren't your freaking pal? Okay.
Well, if you're watching the video, I guess, like if you're a regular, and because she's always got the same intro, I feel like a regular because I have to respond to these things, and it kills me a little bit. But anyway,
there is a woman who has gained a lot of negative attention, and a lot of people like making skits, making fun of her, and just talking about her situation and how she lives her life, because she made this video that blew up and kind of got everybody talking, where she talks about how she acts when she goes to a restaurant with her husband.
Everybody equals a bunch of feminists. Like they're the only ones that would take issue with this. And it was probably like 90% women, maybe some feminist men too, because they're looking to score some points with the women. But yeah, so because I didn't know this video existed at all until these videos showed up.
Yeah, it's not a big
because
topic.
If I'd have seen that,
yeah,
if I'd have come across this on TikTok, I don't use TikTok, but if I did and I came across this, I'd have just shrugged and moved on. Like, okay, whatever, right? I wouldn't have even thought of it always as a kink. I wouldn't have given a shit. Like sometimes I open the door for Lindsay. Sometimes it just so happens that I'm in front and I do it. You know, like I don't think about these things. Like I'm not obsessing over it. But these women, they're really concerned with how they're essentially concerned with controlling the culture. So if they see somebody step out of line from what they have in mind, that's when they start making all the content. They basically shame and berate and dismiss and belittle women that step out of line, and men don't even bother. Like you can't have an opinion on any of this. So
I have to say,
yeah, it's rainbow
sort of
shite.
love Manifestelle. I love Manifestelle because she just gets right to the essence of the problem. Ew, it could be benefiting a man. Ew.
Yeah.
What a surprise that the people who believe that benefiting man is basically original sin, is the equivalent of original sin, are disgusted by the thought that this arrangement might benefit a man somehow. I don't see how, but apparently it might. I mean, isn't it just another task you have to check off in a day to do all of these things that he's expected to do for her? I mean, it's fine if he takes a sense of self from this kind of service, but I mean, most of those tasks are equivalent to what a butler would do or a manservant, right? So this is putting more onus on him after probably a full day's work of having onus on him. So I'm like, I mean, again, if they want to do it, but it doesn't sound like he's the one who's necessarily getting the benefit out of this, aside from the benefit of feeling like he's masculine, taking charge, making her feel loved and taken care of, which I don't know why these women begrudge him that, except that, of course, it is a complete denial of their ultimate argument that male authority equals women oppressed. In this case, male authority equals a woman served. Funny how that works, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
The problem is the authority, but anyway.
Yeah.
And what she calls the princess treatment, where basically she says that when she goes to a restaurant, she doesn't make eye contact with anyone, she doesn't talk to anyone. Her husband gets the door for her, he speaks to all the wait staff, he orders for her, all of that, and that's her being treated like a princess. And
like the way she wants to be treated. Like this is the thing that is not being admitted here. This is the way that this woman wants to be treated. I thought feminism was about women deciding. She's made a decision, right? She has all of the legal powers of any other woman if she's unsatisfied with her relationship. She decides at some point in the future that princess treatment was actually rape. Guess what? He's up a shit creek without a paddle, right? So, excuse me, Rainbow Bright, if I don't give a crap.
Rainbow shite.
She made her choice. She made her choice. And you can't respect that because that choice, for whatever reason, doesn't benefit you. And this is the real problem in our society with women and how women are treated. If women's choices don't benefit feminism, you're in for a world of hurt. Okay? There is no pressure. There's no patriarchal pressure as far as I can tell. At least I've never felt it. But there sure is feminist pressure in our society. Pressure to adhere to the feminist party line. Pressure to see yourself as a victim in every fucking circumstance. And if you don't, they will make you a victim. I don't even know if we need to listen to more of this shit.
Well, I mean, let's get to her. There is something here. Her thesis is slightly different.
All of the content she makes. Once I was made aware of this one video that blew up, I went to her account and I scrolled through the entire thing. I went through all of her TikToks where she either talks about the princess treatment or she talks about her life as a stay-at-home mom / housewife. And it's very interesting and it's so different to pretty much all of the other sort of trad wife content that I've seen in a lot of ways. And so I really wanted to take a dive into that and talk about it with you because it's fascinating. So to give a little bit of context on her and the whole situation, basically her name is Courtney and she is
let me jump ahead here. So
do you guys ever feel any sense of shame, like you're all piling on this woman who has this, I guess, cute little life hack, how to make yourself feel feminine and your man feel masculine through simple life choices. Like, no,
Yeah, well, that's kind of what it. That's what it comes
be
down
a
to.
billionaire ninja
so you
surgeon werewolf to make you feel feminine.
so this is kind of what it comes down to. So you have like a social media platform. TikTok is the one that everybody uses now, especially young people, especially women, and they're all trying to become influencers, and they're all trying to share their opinions, and they all come from various backgrounds, right? The feminists want to dominate social media as usual, and their ideology is unique in that no one is allowed to like be outside of it, right? Like if it was a bunch of people posting trad stuff, you notice that no one that does that is trying to make other people do it. They're just showing it. Like what was her name?
Yeah.
I can't remember her name, but there's a woman who, wears the dresses and she has the hair and does the makeup, and she'll just do like short videos of herself, and it pissed feminists off. She never said you have to do this. In fact, when she was confronted, because I think she appeared on Piers Morgan, I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. It's a blonde, kind of has this Marilyn Monroe thing, like her look. And she said, well, I'm not saying that other people have to do this. This is just what I like to do. And of course, she gets a lot of traffic, like her channels, her TikTok or whatever is really big, just like the other woman, the Ballerina Farms, right? Huge on TikTok and Instagram. Huge. But the thing is, they're not saying people have to live this way. They're just showing their lifestyle. They're showing their stuff off. And a lot of people resonate with it. And I think ultimately this is what upsets feminists, because they're not the kind of people that just say, well, this is how I live and whatever. They're the people that say, this is how you should live. And or this is how you should feel. This is what your opinion should be. Okay. Yeah, Estelle Williams. Thank you, J.O. Bales. That's who I was thinking of. Estelle Williams. Estelle Williams never says you have to do this. She just does that, right? So it's not prescriptive. It's just like whatever. But feminists make it prescriptive. And so the problem is of course, their ideas don't appeal to normal people. They don't even appeal to women. Like not in like their final form, at least. Some of the well, I'm saying like some of the basic stuff, like if you fearmonger women about the vote or whatever, or male oppression or the Handmaid's Tale, that you'll get normie women on board with that. But if you start like, shaving your head and covering yourself in tattoos and whatever the extremists do, like these people, that's less appealing to women, because most women do want to like have a healthy relationship with a man. So I think that because feminism is by its nature prescriptive and it has to be shoved down your throat, when somebody bucks that and they're like doing their own thing, they get attacked. The barracudas come out, the piranha swarms, swarm that person and say, make videos about them. Because again, I think that it's because if there are other opinions that appear to exist, they might be appealing to normal women. That's what I think.
Oh, so. Yeah, no, 100%. Okay, so is that her thesis? Is she completed? Or do we need to watch?
That's basically her thesis. I mean, like, her thesis is actually interesting because, let me see. This is, it's promoted. Okay. It involves emotionally manipulating the husband through a non-consensual dynamic, undermining mutual respect and partnership in relationships.
So basically somewhat what I said, but
yes,
honestly, I don't think we can really, and just based on what this woman has said, I don't think we can read that far into it. But at least she admits that the husband might be the manipulated party in this.
Yeah, she does. I think it's again, like she might be the most fair actor, but even then it comes down to like, she's just ultimately like queer theory is just against normality. So she is ultimately against normality, and every tool that can be used to do that will become useful. I don't think she really cares about his that he's being manipulated, and maybe he isn't, by the way, because it's not like people don't know what they're getting into.
Well, I mean, let's look at this logically. All right, his wife just let's assume that this is basically the social dynamic. His wife has set up a situation where, without violating any laws, without losing self-respect, without seeing himself as a bad person, he can serve her and feel masculine, right? And she can feel feminine. Now, it's just like I said, it's a cute little life hack. Enjoy your lives. Whereas feminists give men no ability to feel masculine because they want to destroy that identity. They give no sense of a target to aim for in order for men to feel good about themselves, right? So unless Sparkles can identify the positive aspect of masculinity or something positive that men can do in relation to women to feel good about themselves, she's not really, ultimately, it's not really compassion, is it? Is it because it's manipulative? Or is it because, again, a man benefits somehow? But you're right. Like, I mean, if she's not going to put her money where her mouth is, if she's going to say, oh, this is a manipulative thing, and yet it is a very basic, simple way for a man to feel masculine, for a woman to say, this is how you can, makes me feel like you're a man. And it's not anything that is huge, doesn't require a ton of money. It doesn't require transforming into a werewolf at the full moon, or being a vampire, or a surgeon, or a billionaire, or a space ninja. It's just a simple act that any man can do. And his wife is like, this is going to make me feel like you. This is how I'm going to feel like a woman, and you can feel like a man. And is the problem there really the manipulation? And are you in a position to complain about that, even if it is slightly manipulative, when the manipulation you do to men is to feel like they're shit all the time, and that they can never change that unless they submit to you utterly in every circumstance, destroy all of their hobbies and relationships with men, and constantly live in a state of self-imposed hirsute shameism? Like, are you really in a position to judge this woman being manipulative there, Rainbow Bright?
Rainbow Shite.
Yeah.
Rainbow Bright is copywritten. She can't have that name. She gets sued.
In manipulating men, do you really think, as a feminist, do you really think you're in the right calling out another woman manipulating men's identity, when that woman's manipulation of a man's identity allows him to feel masculine in a simple exchange that hurts no one, and at least is a target to hit?
Yep.
All right.
You want me to just go to the you want me to just go to the Clownfish then? Because that's
let's go to Clownfish. Like, this is more like a normie take. Can I call them normie?
Yeah, they're very normie on this kind of stuff.
All right. I hope they don't feel that that's rude, but
no, I don't. Well, look, let me put it like this: Clownfish TV, and they know this themselves. I had them on the show before. They're interested in, like, talking about, like, nerd culture stuff, video games, anime, movies, action figure, whatever, toys, I don't know. And they're very much, like, in that part of they're involved in the culture. And they're generally, like, people who don't really want to get too deep into, feminism and all the political stuff and all that. But obviously, because they are in the culture, they have to deal with it. And this is something that I wish that more people in the culture war would just get in their heads. You can't avoid this. You have to confront this. You have to confront this.
I think they are more and more, though.
I think that's, they're starting to realize they can't really avoid it, because they're like, well, I don't really want to give. And that's what Clownfish, when I had them on, they were like, look, I don't want to take sides. It's like, well, do you want to take the side of the people who are trying to like save what exists, or do you want to take this, like, where's the middle point between the people trying to destroy everything and the people who are trying to salvage it? Where's the middle ground there? Like, what does that look like? Can you help me out?
I want to find the middle ground between Genghis Khan and
yeah, and like the average people, like the average villager.
Yeah, there's a middle ground here. Can't you just be half subjugated and killed?
Yeah, but like, well, I mean, it's okay that they chime in because they have a lot of reach and they're a pretty big channel. But anyway, so let's get to the time code. They kind of like do their whole, like, subscribe to the channel, news, views, and rants, guys. So I'm just going to jump to here.
Well, for some reason I can't hear anything. Oh no, it's
Oh,
not
I didn't
started?
share. Yeah, because wait, are you? I am sharing this.
Huh?
Can
Well,
you
what the
can you
hell?
see? Can you not hear
I
it?
can see them. I can
Wait,
see
can
them.
you
but
guys hear it?
Yeah, can you?
Oh, that's weird. Wait, no, you're right. The
Huh.
website isn't. There's no
Well, how
sound coming
odd.
out of the website. Hold on a second. Let me figure
But you
out
didn't change
why
any
that
features,
is.
did you? All right.
No,
Well,
I
I'll
didn't
take
do.
this
I didn't
moment.
do anything. It'll just take me a second. Hold on.
I'll take this moment to just remind everyone to send your messages to feedthebadger.com/justthetip for this lovely discussion on the weird sisters and how they don't like princesses. Anyway, feedthebadger.com/justthetip to send those messages. A big thank you for Richard Beer for the suggestion and the support. And let me see if we got any super chats. Send in those super chats because it's been quiet, guys. Feedthebadger.com/justthetip. And if you would like to support the show, feedthebadger.com/support. Let me just double
You guys
check to
see
make
the
sure
video? Can you guys see it
there's no
now?
super
Let
chow.
me
Actually,
try
I think there
playing
might
it.
be a super chow stuck in the tubes. Let
What
me
the hell? That's
just let
crazy,
me.
dude. I can hear it, but I don't know why no one else can hear it. All right, I'm gonna
Yeah,
stop sharing
there's
this
a super chow
for
stuck in the
now.
tube.
Let me just stop sharing for a second, and then I'm gonna put it back
Yeah,
up.
like okay. I'm going to reload this to maybe push the super chow through
All
so
right, let
that
me
we
see.
get it.
According to
First
the
There it goes. There it goes. Okay, it's
Yeah,
working
there it
now.
goes. There it goes. One tube is unblocked. Let's see if the other tube got unblocked. Yep,
All right, I got
did.
one.
Yeah.
All right, I got a super chat from Richard Bier, gives us $10 and says, "How many women will try to avoid talking to people that they don't like by saying that they have a boyfriend again?" There is a sketch where someone tries to rob a gas station and the woman behind the counter just keeps saying that she has a boyfriend. And about the equal pay, I remember that's old, but this is a good one. And about the equal pay for equal work brings to mind that somewhere in upside down land at one of the commuter train services, the woman in the office had altogether taken off from work for some solidarity with the sisterhood reasons, and not much difference was noticed other than way fewer complaints about the air conditioning being set incorrectly. Sometime later, on 37 male train drivers were all out sick at the same time, and it took several days for everything to return to normality. All right, thank you. All right, okay, now we can look at it. So, but this is okay. You guys didn't miss anything anyway because he was still like doing his whole spiel. So let's listen.
We need to explain what trad wife is. Those who don't know, trad wife basically stands for traditional wife, and it's basically women who enjoy being like Betty Crocker and stuff from the 50s, 40s, that kind of stuff. With the traditional, you dress nice, you keep the house clean, you stay home mom, you cook, you do all that stuff. It's a traditional wife. It's a play on traditional wife, is what trad wife is.
in the last year or two, it's like really, really irritated the hell out of left-wing media.
Yeah.
We've got Vogue. The real problem with tradwives, we've got The Guardian, sundresses, and rugged self-sufficiency. Harvard Crimson, tradwives, and the monetization of womanhood. So yeah, that's where people are having an issue with it. Though.
Oh wait, it says them who are.
So again, this goes back to like, why is this happening? Why is it legacy media is coming out against the whole trad wife thing when they could just ignore it or move on? But this, again, it comes back to there's a certain lifestyle, certain life choices that they insist women make, and this goes against that because it's just like, what was that saying that I can't remember what it was. It was like some very old like person critical of feminism said that if we give women something, they might take
Simone
it.
de Beauvoir.
What did she say?
I think it was Simone de Beauvoir who said, if we give women the opportunity to become wives and mothers,
they will take it.
Too many of them will take it. And so we cannot do that.
Yes.
But the other thing is that I don't like the framing about the trad wife thing, because women who become, well, not homesteaders, but women who stay at home immediately gain, a 20, 25, 30 hour advantage in terms of free time over every other
Oh,
person.
for sure. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm not going to say that necessarily men are being exploited in that situation, but don't tell me that they're getting benefit more. Well, I mean, they may get slightly more benefit because they get a person who's going to cook them meals and keep the house clean and maybe not complain about it.
Theory.
In theory.
Hopefully.
In theory.
Yeah.
Yeah. But really, men are not getting a huge benefit, whether or not women choose to be career boss babes or stay-at-homes. They're still plodding ahead. They're still pulling the cart, regardless of how the cart is bedecked. And I just really, it really is obnoxious to frame this as some kind of huge imposition on women. Oh my God, this lifestyle gives you an extra 30 hours of leisure a week. Aren't you oppressed? Yeah, no group of people in history, like you could probably judge who wasn't oppressed by how much leisure time they had.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for God's sake. But anyway, whether or not this is exploitative of men, I don't care. Because people make their choices, right?
Yeah, people make their choices. They're adults. And all I would say is, again, what I think is going on with the trad wife thing is it's kind of seen as, if anything, it's fashionable. It's not like a real, like you said, you mentioned homesteaders. I know people who live in my community that live in that style where the man works and the woman raises the children, and she's got like 5 children, 6 children, and it's like hard work for everybody. But they're not like making Instagram posts and TikTok videos. They're just doing that life. So it's not, there are people who live that way, and it's not like a fashionable thing. It's not like a trend. And then there are people on social media that make it into a trend. And some people, maybe they can make both work. Sure. But like, I think that the problem with it is, again, it is going back to that Simone de Beauvoir comment about women shouldn't have the option to be wives and mothers because they might take it. But again, I would say, I think it's just kind of a trendy thing that's going on.
Yeah.
And that's why the legacy media hates it.
Geeky Sparkle was about to make a point, which it interests me. Yeah. So let's go back to it.
Okay. You want me to go back a little bit?
Hey, no, let's just hear what she has to say. Yeah.
Tradwise and the monetization of womanhood. So yeah, that's where people are having an issue with it.
Oh, wait, it says them who are doing articles on it to monetize. Oh, right. Again, you remember, girls.
Now, Harvard.
Yeah, remember, girls. It's okay. You have the right to choose, unless you choose being a trad wife, and then they're going to shit all over you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that was basically the main takeaway of that, which of course we've talked about on this channel a lot. And I think I like to ask why. And I think it is because they don't want to normalize that as an option. Because
maybe I should start making
what their goals are.
Maybe I should start making like men's rights core content, being in my men's issues era.
You should learn to bake something and then bake while you talk about stuff. Lindsay's thinking about doing that.
You don't mean like smoking.
I know.
Okay, all right.
You don't deal well with cooking anything. You're like an anti-woman. You're not just anti-feminist. You're like an anti-woman. You're like an inverted woman.
I'm the antimatter of women.
Negative. Yeah, the antimatter of women. Exactly. Just like.
Yeah, no, I don't have any feminine virtues whatsoever.
Maybe Karen should do it then. Well, she doesn't make.
Yeah, she can probably bake.
But she can just record her making a sandwich, and it's just her hands, like home math. Yeah. But she's just building a sandwich, and just take the recording of that, and then you just do the voiceover and just make some arguments. People will look at the sandwich being built, and then they'll get some like men's issues talking points along the way. Actually, I think that's a good idea. I don't know what you guys in the chat.
Well, if there's anything domestic that I do,
sandwich core. We're gonna call it
sandwich core. Men's rights sandwich core. But anyway, so like as the maybe I should start making TikToks about my lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I don't know if there's anything of interest in my lifestyle. So yeah, let's continue. Let's continue because the trad wives are getting all this attention. Maybe we can get some Harvard articles about the perils of the men's rights female influencers who are like, yeah, maybe we should give Maybe we should be okay if a man cries and tells us the problems that he has, and not think of him as less of a man, but also not compel it like it's some kind of prize to be won. Just be okay with it if it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Also be okay with men's anger if it happens, and not freak out like the sky is falling. You know, that kind of thing. I don't know how that would make very interesting content, though. Well, fuck. I just threw shade at myself. Oh, God. Okay, let's keep going.
It's not controlling. But trad wife content creators. Trad wives are choosing to be it. It's not because they're mandated to do so. Women who prioritize traditional gender roles, which I do, often project old school fantasies of staying home with the kids. I stayed home with the kids. Returning to the land. You mean like gardening and shit? I know how to do that. I know how to can. I know how to sew. I know how to quilt. I know how to do all that shit. And I'm not a trad wife. Home cooking can do that. And serving their husbands. Sometimes I willingly serve my husband. It depends. But I'm just saying, no comment there. I'm just saying, like, you know, what you would consider old school.
You still talk to him?
Yeah, old school womandom. I do all the time because I was raised to do it. I know how to do all that shit. I do it because, you know, I can go outside. I can totally fix like something that's broken, then turn around and can up some jelly or tomatoes like nothing. You know, it's like, that's just called being well-rounded.
Go can up that jelly, woman.
You know what I'm saying?
Turn my butter, baby.
Have I not made butter and made jelly before?
Have you made butter?
Okay, I have one thing that might be considered feminine.
What?
Herbalism.
Oh, herbalism?
Yeah, but that's probably a weirdly, like, that's like the weird crone at the end of the block.
That's like the potion made by the witch type of stuff. But Lindsay grows herbs, and because we live in an apartment, we don't have like the space for like a garden, but she wants to do that. So we have she grows some like hot peppers and stuff like that. Oh, I'm supposed to water the plants. Oh shit. I'm gonna do this after this is over. But anyway,
just remember to water the plants. Let's get this.
Forgot to water the plants. Okay.
Yeah.
Salt, and you over whip it till it turns to butter. I most certainly did. I did it for the kids once to show them how to make it.
I don't remember that, but I
totally did, but I didn't use a churn. I used a hand mixer.
Okay. Well, that's cheating. Some trad wife you are. I might have to trade you in for another one.
It's just basic, you know. Go ahead. I'll slap you again. Some of this is just basic. Some of this is just basic, you know-how. I grew up in the country type rural girl. I mean,
okay, so I have a request. What? No offense to Geeky Sparkle, but I feel like they're going off into the weeds.
Yeah, a little bit.
2011.
Okay,
Can we go to 2011?
2011.
The quiz, bare minimum versus princess treatment.
Okay.
To get my attention. Then you look at the girl and you're like, yeah, you're ugly pie, man. You're just
that escalated
on the underlying assumption that women need to be taken care of, protected, and are incapable of deep thought.
Oh, is this exactly right?
Assume that.
I don't think so.
I don't. Okay, who are you talking to? Because you keep assuming that if someone chooses to be a trad wife, I'm talking a lot in this because I'm a woman and coming from a female angle. But you're just assuming, you're making assumptions that people are being trad wives because they're being mandated to do so, and they are allowed to think for themselves.
Yeah, because it's convenient for them to do so because they're trying to remove women's agency. Like, the problem with Geeky Sparkle is she's arguing the people who do this know that this is a choice that women are making. The choice they don't want them to make, so they take away perception of women's agency as a way to punish women who do it. Right? That's what they're doing. They're, like I told you about how it removes your voice, it removes a sense of yourself. It makes you feel helpless as a woman for a feminist to say something like, what you're doing, it's not your choices. Somebody else, it's the patriarchal puppetry. You know, it's a cruelty. It's a form of torture, and they're applying it, and they know that that's wrong because the problem is that they want to prevent women from making the choices. So how do they recognize that they're preventing women from making the choice that they don't want without recognizing that it is women making that choice? They do know that it's women making that choice. They are doing this. They're taking away the perception that this is a woman, that the woman is making the choice in order to neuter her sense of self and to make her feel destroyed and helpless so that she makes the decisions that they want her to make. And I'd really like to investigate this dynamic because I think it has probably a lot of historical stuff going on with it. Not just in this day and age, but this is something that women have done to women throughout the centuries and then blamed on men. Is this way of saying, oh, that's not your decision. It's not yours. You don't have a self.
No, of course not.
Making that decision.
Of course not.
Because it's almost like women have like the sense that if the collective doesn't agree, then they don't really exist. You know, and honestly, I think one of the biggest why I'm the anti-woman is because when women come at me with that shit, I'm like, well, nope, I still exist. So bye. But that's what they're doing. They're trying to take that away. They're trying to destroy the woman psychologically by saying that this isn't your choice.
Yeah. And
so they do know it is actually her choice. That's why they're telling her it's not. It's like feminism is a narrative that is 100 almost entirely lies that only work because they're lies. Okay.
I think that's it. I mean, unless you want, there's more to this.
Well, I thought there was a quiz, a bare minimum versus princess treatment quiz.
Okay. Is it like right here?
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, there. No.
Okay. No?
Okay, maybe. Yeah, maybe it is.
Okay.
Questions in there that were just questions I added for me. Okay. So you all can take this at home, okay? And the first one, these are the questions I saw in different videos they're asking. You want to say
it sounds like
bare minimum that you should do this as a dude, or if it's they're demanding princess treatment.
I'm gonna get hosed a lot.
Well, I'm not spraying you, but I'll tell you what I think after you say it. Buying her favorite snack just because.
Well, it's bare minimum.
Yeah, I think so. I would do the same for you.
Yeah.
Writing love letters.
It's bare minimum.
That's absolutely princess treatment. I would not do that. I don't like write love letters. Lindsay would like throw it at me, crumple it up. That's cringe. I know that she would say that's cringe, and I think it's cringe. Can you imagine? Ugh, roses are red. No, I wouldn't do that. You know what? It's because I'm in my 50s. If I was like fucking 12, then yeah, sure, I could see that. But I'm not.
Minimum. Can it be bare minimum for men not to write love letters?
Can it be the bare minimum for men not to write love letters? Yeah.
Yeah, like can that be the bare minimum? Can we all do it according to my aesthetic or my preferences? Like, okay, the snack's fine. It's sort of nice to get a snack now and then. That's okay. I do that
for Lindsay. I do that for her. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like every so often, because
that's reasonable.
Part of it is because if I like go to the store and I come back with a snack for myself, but I don't bring anything for her, she'd be like, "What the fuck?" You know. But
So now the irony is they're saying that, of course, this princess treatment is actually the bare minimum that men should be doing anyway. So more hoops for men to jump through. Okay.
Let's more often, but I don't.
I think that's up to the people thing. I mean, I know I've asked you before and you don't do it, but I guess I can see about princess treatment too if you're busy. I can see both sides of that one. Carrying her purse for her if she needs you to.
That's bare minimum.
Yeah, you do all the time.
Mine.
Leave it alone. No, that's I think that's a little bit emasculating. Lindsay never asked me to carry her purse. I did have a girlfriend that did do that though, like a while back, but back in the ancient days.
That's not like no, it's mine. That's mine.
Yeah.
Mine. And I don't even have a purse. I have like some kind of equipment bag.
I think women. Like I think that that's like I think the carry my purse thing is a little bit of a shit test. I don't know. Maybe I over read into that too much, but I do think it's a little bit of a shit test. Yeah, it's definitely so other men see that and say, "Look at this pussy." No, I'm just kidding. I think it's fun for that men give each other shit for that though. That's just me.
I'm the shopping assistant. Like, here, honey, take the purse and the bags and go sit over there.
You don't go sit. Usually you stay.
Happy wife, happy life.
With me, which is that would be princess treatment. See,
there you go.
I get treated like royalty usually. So, I don't ask for it. He just does it. Bring soup to her when she's sick.
Bare minimum.
Yeah. Putting her towel in the dryer so it's warm after her shower.
Oh, we just put them on the rack.
Yeah. So would you say that's bare minimum?
That's princess treatment, because
I
usually we
agree.
just put the
That's
towel.
Yeah.
What the hell is this
towel.
shit?
I've never even heard of that. I hope Lindsay doesn't see this. She might start asking for it. Like she likes a warm towel after a shower, but I've never done that. No, she probably think that'd be excessive.
No, it's just I don't know. I like I'm not really on board with what this woman was saying about being treated like a princess, just because I don't know. I don't want to be that cloyed upon. That doesn't make sense. Like, I just like if I pack the bag, I want to carry it. Unless I have to carry something else, and
Yeah.
or he's bringing it in from the car, and I have something else that I'm carrying. That's fine.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be cloyed on with like freaking love letters. Like, you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that would be nice after the person has passed on to be able to read, but while they're alive, maybe you could do that, but like put it in a shoebox somewhere hidden. I don't know. Maybe that's just weird.
All right.
But
All right,
this just feels really cloying.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is too is that like again, the difference between the bare minimum and the princess treatment is essentially if it's bare minimum, it's kind of unconscious. Like you do it, you don't think about it, and I think a lot of its stuff is kind of common sense. The princess treatment is something you have to consciously think about, like, oh, I better do this. And I think that if you're in a position where you feel like compelled to do these things, I don't know, man. It doesn't sound like you're in a relationship that is fair because that's why I think what they're realizing is the stuff that is considered the bare minimum usually goes both ways. Like if I'm sick, when I have been sick, I don't know if you guys know, but I've basically avoided death like a couple of times. Lindsay would take care of me. And when she's sick, I take care of her. So, but it's not like I'm like keeping score, like, well, I've done this for you 5 times and you've only done it 3 times. So, it's just like I'm not thinking about it.
And when we're sick, neither of us takes care of the other. We just leave each other alone.
Well, I've
tried to give Jonathan soup, and he's like, "No, you poison me." No.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're probably a really weird example. We're not just. I'm just not just the anti-woman. I've got the anti-relationship. But yeah, it's fine. Like it's but the thing is, like, you get the kind of person that you can live with, really. And I don't know if I could live with some dude who was all over my shit like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
giving me soup while I'm sick. Yeah,
well,
I mean, that's fine. No, that's fine. I get that. Yeah, I get it.
I'd offer to go buy it at the store and come back. That's what I've done. It's like, I'll pick something up for you.
Well, Jonathan has made me food based on my allergies and stuff. So, I guess that's the equivalent.
I think it's the same kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't even bring me a warm towel.
No. Tying her shoes for her.
That's if you need help, that's bare minimum. I mean, that's the thing. If you need help and
maybe you can't see your shoes, but he can. I don't know. Depending how big you are.
Like, hey, my back hurts.
Or I'm pregnant.
I'm pregnant, which was true. Then I tie your shoes for you because that's just, and you did for me when my back was, because my back is like all kinds of messed up.
Right.
And I couldn't feel my leg for like 3 years.
He drug his leg like Igor. It was funny.
Well, it wasn't funny. For me.
It wasn't funny, but it was like, to anybody outside looking in, it was funny. Putting dishes away in the right place.
That's one of yours, isn't it?
That is one of mine.
I know that's what, because that irritates the hell out of her. I always get.
Oh, okay. So she's basically, this is kind of, we're seeing a little bit inside the relationship. Okay.
What irritates her?
This house we've been in for several years.
Well, she's saying like putting the dishes away in the right place. And he's like, oh, this is one of yours, isn't it? So like, I guess he doesn't do that. Maybe, I don't know. I'm the one that I'm the one that washes the dishes and puts them away. And I have a system. Like for me, everything's got a system. Lindsay's the chaos agent. She's the one that leaves, I'll find like half-drank cans of water everywhere, put glasses with liquid in it. And I'm like, what is this? She's the chaos agent in that. What?
secretly preparing for the signs, aliens.
Yeah, it's for the aliens. I know. It's preparing for the aliens. Anyway.
But even the other house that we were in for like over a decade, I still for some reason can't map out where the dishes are supposed to go, because to me, a bowl is a bowl, but apparently, you know, in
the bowls are in together.
The pans, though, there's like different pan places.
It's not the pans that you're doing it wrong. Putting dishes away in the right place.
I liked it better when we had the little hooks to put the pans on.
You need to answer the question.
I know the answer.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get princess treatment because I get the
Okay.
hose.
That's
No man
basic.
does.
That's basic.
I know.
Oh gosh, you know what's really funny?
this was
is
actually
special
official.
chat has, like, some of the people from the special chat have started to migrate into the horizontal chat.
Yeah.
It's really weird because there's this person, I think it's a woman called Witchmaster, might be a man, and she has this this little screed where she, for the last few bits, she's been talking about how we're normies compared to her because she's such an avant-garde feminist. And then I'm like, okay, well, what does being a feminist but not in a normie way mean? And she or he responds with, like in an equality, making your own decisions without a bunch of harassment from someone just because they are a male who thinks he has a God-given right to do so. And I'm like reading this, I'm like, well, that sounds pretty basic bitch to me. Like that's the bare minimum.
For me,
Like
that is the definition.
That's like that's
we
just
know
being able
we
to,
know of this opinion.
yeah, we know of this opinion from women, from feminists, but also it's an assumption that you aren't able to stand up for yourself just as a bare minimum as a woman. You don't need feminism to do that. In fact, feminism sort of impedes that, because if you stand up for certain things, feminists will slam you down. So, yeah, you need to be a feminist to stand up for yourself. You need an external ideology to have a spine or a personality. Woof, that's a basic, isn't that just come basic? If you're a woman or just a human being. Anyway,
Well, I would say that Witchmaster, I've been looking at the chat, and Witchmaster hasn't been that mean, so you're welcome to stick around. But
yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, maybe you will teach us something, but maybe we will teach you something. So
yeah,
you know,
but I don't know.
Keep open to the idea.
Okay, so anecdote. When my mother died of lung cancer about 20 years ago, and when she was having sort of her wake, when we were having her wake, she was sort of a high flyer in the corporate, the oil and gas industry in Alberta. And there were a lot of women who came to her wake. And I don't know what to call it. I think it was like a memorial. And I remember overhearing some of the things they said. And one of the things that they said, which was really, really fascinating to me, was that she was a woman who didn't need feminism because she had a spine, because she was who she was. She had a personality because of who she was. She didn't need feminism to give those things to her. Right? That's the ideal as far as I'm concerned. I don't need feminism to give me a spine. I don't need feminism to give me a personality. I don't need feminism to advocate for myself. I don't need feminism for any of those things. And I don't like the implication that I do. All right, let's I think they're just going to continue on, like going through the princess treatment.
Well, we could I mean, do you want to keep going or no? This is the last video, so
I mean, because we got to set up the next show, and
yeah, I know, when I got to go pick up Lindsay and stuff, so
yeah, and you got to water your plants, so we might as well not go to
okay. All right then.
Okay.
Let's quit.
Okay.
Let's
while we're ahead,
wrap it up.
There's nothing particularly wrong with the Clownfish TV.
They're okay. They're just kind of normal.
Yeah, they're normal. That's not a bad thing. They probably have lots of, people come to their parties and stuff.
I don't wish getting dragged into this shit show on anyone. On my worst enemy.
Here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
Well, I mean, I think that, like I said, building a community that doesn't reject men for the absolutely most retarded possible reasons that we can find, continuously creating a new list of icks to reject men. Yeah, that's not really going to do us very well. It's not a really stable platform for having a future for anyone. And as painful as it is, we just have to grind and develop a community that doesn't do that. It's the only way to apply the necessary social shaming to prevent women from engaging in that behavior. So if you want to support that, feedthebadger.com/justthetip. Well, that's to send a message. And if you want to support, feedthebadger.com/support. And if you want more information about our upcoming meeting, feedthebadger.com/events. All of that's in the low bar. Also a link to our Discord, our community, if you want to take part. That's really critical. Like, if you want to be part of the grind, get in the community and help us build it. BadgerNation.online. Again, all in the low bar. And I will hand that back to you, Brian, because those plants, I can hear their thirst.
Okay, well, yeah, I will take care of that right away. So if you guys like this video, please hit like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications, leave us a comment, let us know what you guys think about what we discussed on the show today, and please, please, please share this video because sharing is caring. Thank you guys so much for coming on today's episode of Maintaining Frame, and we'll talk to you guys in the next one.
Men's rights activists are machines, dude. Okay? They are literal machines. They are talking point machines. They are impossible to fucking deal with, especially if you have like a couple dudes who have good memory on top of that too. Holy shit, you're fucked.